Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Aquarius. So Aquarius, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So Aquarius, you are gliding, you are shining, you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you are doing, and being who you are fully, 100%, 110%. Because you're facing your fears and you're not afraid to do so. So, the way that I'm seeing your reading overall is that by having this courage and making this decision to glide over your fears, because this is how your reading is beginning, you're having a wish granted. And that feels really, really good. That feels amazing. And I feel like you're just spreading your wings and flying high and being fully who you truly are, with no shame, with no fear, with no inhibition, with no insecurity, and you're just surrendering to what's coming, which is gorgeous. So, we're beginning with the Nine of Swords. This card was showing me literally you gliding over your fears, and I was seeing you, when, I don't know if you've had those dreams, but I had a few dreams like that in the past where I am flying just above the surface of the water, so it kind of feels like I'm gliding over the water, if it makes sense. I don't know if that's, a common thing to dream of, but this is how I'm seeing this card. And perhaps also it's all of this Avatar 2 kind of imagery that is surrounding my mind lately. So I'm seeing that, right? It's like the ability to navigate over your fears, or through your fears, better said, that they cannot touch you, right? It's like you're going so fast. You are moving so freely and so spontaneously, but also so courageously, right? It's like you're facing your fears, right? The Nine of Swords is representing your fears, but also like you having the courage to go towards them, right? It's like literally you're seeing your fears in the eyes, right? And I feel like that is very, very, very appropriate. It's like that is actually perfect. The timing of this is perfection. The Wheel of Fortune is talking about you gliding over your fears, is heading you exactly to the center of the Wheel of Fortune. So the center of the Wheel of Fortune it's almost like the end and the beginning, right? Which is so fascinating. I'm just being reminded of my day yesterday, and it was exactly like that. It was like in the same day, a very important end to a very important new beginning, like with a few hours of distance from each other. And so I feel like this is what the power of the Wheel of Fortune, of fate, of destiny, however you want to call it, has when you are facing your fears, when you're not afraid to really confront them and to go with it and to glide over it. And so this is talking about the power maybe that you hold now in your hands because you have done the hardest thing, right? But that's the thing, with ease and freedom and lightness of your being, right? This is not harsh. This might have been triggering some time ago, but I feel like right now, the way that you're doing so, which is placing you in the center of this Wheel of Fortune, this is talking about the perfection of the alignment of every single event, right? It's like all of the synchronicities that now are being amped up just because you're not afraid to go with the flow, to align with the things that might have scared you in the past, right? It's like going in the same direction and just allowing them to be. It's almost like welcoming your fears, saying, yeah, you're here for a reason, then come with me, right? I accept you, I embrace you. And that is heading, well, leading you to head towards the center of the Wheel of Fortune. And being at the center of this Wheel of Fortune with the Sun card coming next. I mean, this is the epitome of you shining your brightest light. This is you finding your essence, finding your light, finding your core. It's your beingness, right? It's interesting because the type of energy that I'm picking up from this Sun card is, it's not the illumination that irradiates through your human self alone. It's like the entirety of your being, right? So as Paul Selig and the guides would call this, is the monad. It's like the fullness of your being, right? The Christ self, the Christ consciousness, the purest it's interesting, I was going to say the purest you, but even this word you seems to fade away, you know, when I'm trying to describe the vastness of the sun, right? It's like, so you, Aquarius, are like a tiny fragment, or like a tiny expression, but nevertheless, like a piece of this totality that now you're finding. It's like that's the thing. It's like, because you're heading towards something that might have been preventing you to take this power, right, of being at the center of this Wheel of Fortune. It's almost like the nature of reality creates fears so that we are not in control, in a sense, of our own destiny. And I want to say that lightly because I know there are a lot of controversies in regards to, you know, free will and destiny. The way that I see this, Aquarius, is using the free will of our essence, of our monad self, of our Christ consciousness, of our full maximum brightness of our being. We choose our destinies. So what we call something that is pre-chosen or predestined, it's actually the monad, ourselves, our essential beingness that has already chosen, right? And it's like going to the center of it and meeting your essence there is actually going to the end and the beginning, right? Of like this, maybe the self-discovery path, right? This path to enlightenment, as you know, some cultures say, some lines of thoughts call it. But I feel like this is coming back home, in a sense. It's like finding your essence again. It's coming back home. And whatever was scaring you, whatever was preventing you from finding this, the moment that you glide with it, that's the moment when you receive your rewards, in a sense. You have, and I want to say in singular, right? Not in plural, although the Nine of Cups could be talking about, you know, your dreams in general, your wishes in general. But to be honest, the way that I'm seeing this one cup in the center is a wish granted, because you are going in this direction, right? You see how the arrows are pointing upwards and they're leading you towards the center of this Wheel of Fortune, where you find yourself in your, it's like the brightest version of yourself. It's like, it's even like, there is no word for it, really. Like, it's just pure light, right? If I I wish I could find a word that could express this, but it's too big, right? I feel like any word is too limited to describe this. But I feel like if you are resonating with this, then you are literally feeling this, right? So the Nine of Cups, because they are pointing downwards, this is what is meeting you halfway through. So the moment that you arrive here at the center of this wheel, because you were gliding and overcoming your fears in the most beautiful way, right? And not being attached to the fear or not being scared away by the fear, right? Going straight through it. This is when you receive an answer. It's almost like maybe something that you have wanted for quite some time, right? As a wish, it is being granted. And it is being granted in the most divine, beautiful, beautiful way. Because after the Nine of Cups, we have the Empress. If you were feeling good, joyous, happy, spontaneous, childlike, free with all of this, and you have this wish granted, the way that I'm seeing this Empress, and I am being careful to choose the words, because as I said, it's like, I feel like they're not going to be enough, really. But the best word that I could use to describe the sensation of this freedom, of spreading your wings and flying, Aquarius, because this is how I'm seeing this crown, right? They're wings, they're your wings, and shining in your beautiful light, it's so inebriating. It's almost like taking you to this trance state that is, it's transporting you to a different world, to a different perception, to a different way of seeing this reality. The way that I'm seeing this, which is fascinating, it's like you are receptive to this wish that you're being granted, which the Ten of Cups coming next. This is a wish that includes somebody else. And I feel like this is the arrival of somebody that is your dream coming true. Is this wish being granted? So something that you desired so much with your full heart, with your full being. And perhaps you didn't even know that this was coming your way, right? Because there's also the perfect timing of this Wheel of Fortune. The Empress is receptive. You are receptive, Aquarius, and there's somebody there to share this path with you, right? Usually I see the nines as the individual path and the tens as the shared path. And so there's somebody there with you, and I'm getting emotional, but also excited, and just, you know what? It's almost like if you were gliding over the water, right? Right at the surface of the water, but still in the air, right? The swords is the air. So this is just barely touching the water. And then destiny or fate or your own beingness, your own Christ consciousness presents you and shines a light in this wish that is being given to you, that is being manifested for you. This is you plunging into the water. This is you being met in the water by somebody that is just gorgeous, in the same page, in the same frequency, right? It's like surrounded by love, surrounded by surrender, So, ending here with the Six of Swords. It's so beautiful because there is this spontaneity of the sun, but there's also like this full embrace. And I want to say it comes from both sides. So you are beautiful, Aquarius. You are catching eyes, right? At least, from this one. This one is really just wanting to be embraced, really, right? It's like this is you opening your arms and being receptive to them, for them to enter your life, for them to, allow them into your life, into your path. And they're surrendering as well. It's like both of you are surrendering. The Six of Swords to me is the card of surrender. And it's interesting because we are starting with this swords card and we're ending with another swords card. But they're very different. This is one which, well, I feel like you knew exactly what your fears or your triggers were. But because you knew how to identify these fears, it's like you chose to glide over them, right? To face them, to go through them, and not trying to find a way around it. And because of that, it's like you were just where you're meant to be, right? Where you chose to be, where your higher self, your essence, your beautiful soul, your Christ consciousness self knows where it needs to be, so that you can receive the one thing that your heart most desires. And that is this wish being granted in the most fulfilling way, because you're open to it, because you're receptive to it, and it just amps up the beauty, right? The fascination, it's like the bizarre synchronicities that placed you exactly where you need to be. And so you're surrendering. There is no sense of resistance whatsoever. There is no hesitation. There is this plunging into the water. Now I'm seeing again this avatar scene, right? Gliding over the water, but then plunging into it and just immersing yourself in the water and just surrendering to love, right? In whichever form it takes, really. It doesn't need to be romantic, although I feel like in some cases, perhaps in most cases, it is, right? It's like having no doubt that there is this beautiful being, and I want to say a human being, that is coming your way as this wish granted, but from this higher alignment, right? It's like this higher level type of consciousness that is placing you in the exactly perfect position at the exactly perfect time. And it's just bringing you joy and beauty and freedom and all of the good things, right? That this life, this realm, this material 3D world has to offer, but through emotions, right? It's interesting because we don't have any pentacle cards, but I feel like the manifestation or this granting of this wish is like the expression of this monad self, of this Christ consciousness through your beingness, but also through emotions, right? Through the heart feeling so much that is like opening to the point that is, reaching heaven, right? This is how I'm seeing these wings spreading so wide open. It's like you can touch the sky, you can touch whatever you want, right? It feels like you're touching the sky, really. And there is no resistance. It's like just being in it, right? Just allowing yourself to be immersed in this water, be immersed in this manifestation of this dream, in this relationship, in this wish, right? Just let yourself feel this complete fulfillment. Let yourself be the beautiful self that you are, right? It's like, and be seen. That's the other thing, right? Being receptive and allowing the one who is arriving to see you fully for who you are, right? But as I said, there is no shame, there is no fear. It's like you were gliding through that even before you had this wish granted. So that's the reason why I feel like this surrender with the Six of Swords at the end, it's like just a natural movement, right? It's like just flowing with the water, right? So Aquarius, I am going to pull more cards for you, and I am going to pull from the astrological runes as well. So if you want to join me in the extended reading, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.